How's it going, folks? Stu here. We made it to December 2021. Pat yourselves on the back. You deserve it. But that means another month is behind us. That one was November, which is nobody's favorite month. It's the month that doesn't have Halloween and also doesn't have Christmas. It's just there. It's just in the middle, being a little it. November, huh? What's up with that? You're a little and no one likes you and no one wants you there. And when you're in the room, everyone's thinking, November? He's weird. I'm gonna exhale out my nose when he tells jokes. I'm not gonna laugh audibly. That guy. Hugely sorry to any big November lovers out there watching this. Here's a take just for you, so you feel a little bit more at home here. I love November. It makes me feel warm. It makes me feel fuzzy. No, it doesn't. It's a piece of shit. I can't even fake it. So it's time for another last month on Letterboxd. Join me as we go through November. It's gonna be subpar to average. But before we get started, it's time to remind you guys to actually go ahead and follow me on Letterboxd. Why not? You've come this far. Links in the description down below. You can see what I'm watching and what I'm thinking about what I'm watching in real time. Crazy stuff. Absolutely didn't need to explain that to you. But also down there are links to last month on Letterboxd for previous months, as well as a bunch of actual full film reviews for some of the films we're going to be chatting about today. So yeah, go and spend time in the description box, but not too much. Come back up and look at my face. Name of my first sex tape. How do you like your Letterboxd diaries in the morning? I like mine with a kiss. Never say that again, Stu. Here's last month. So this is probably just going to be a much more nicer, relaxed pace of a video than last month's, which the film festival just sort of walked in and was like, hey, I'm going to fucking throw your shit all over the floor, my dude. I started the month off with Poseidon. I can't remember why. Why did I do that? I remember there was a trailer out for the new one from the guy that did 2012 and Day After Tomorrow. What's his name? This is going to kill me. Roland. Can't remember, it's definitely Roland. Anyway, he's got a new one coming out about the moon or something, and I saw the trailer and I was like, hey, I immediately want to watch a disaster film. But I've watched Day After Tomorrow a lot, and I also truly don't like 2012, so I didn't go for that one. And I also wanted the comfort of something I've seen before, because why the fuck not? So I watched Poseidon, which is a film I have not seen since it came out. When was that? 2006. 2006. I was 11 years old. Fucking loved this shit when I watched it in the cinema. I was very, very anxious to watch it again, but I thought, hey, I'm gonna whack it on. I'm gonna watch a boat go down. I haven't got the time to watch Titanic. And what a time it was. Folks, Poseidon, I'm gonna say it, cinematic marvel. Used to think I was above this shit, but I've now come to learn the film is true cinema, taking no questions at this point. I said what I said, all right? No questions. Put this microphone down. Absolutely shouldn't have done that. Might have to just go down here. Yeah, this was, look, I have a bloody hoot when I watch Poseidon. Fergie's in this film, and she pops up, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot Fergie's in this film. I really hope they kill her. She disappears for a large portion of this film, but let me tell you, she dies. 4 stars for Poseidon. What a great comfort watch to start the month off with her. And on the subject of comfort, there's nothing like a bit of nostalgia, all right, to get the old comfort juices flowing, am I right? So I went and saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. Big thanks to Sony for hooking up the invite on that one. I have done a full review for this one, so the link's down there for that if you want to see any actual broader thoughts on this thing. And it was a very strange watch, this one, because it's like, there are two sides of me. There's two sides of my brain that are constantly at battle watching a film like Ghostbusters Afterlife. One of those sides is like, yay, Paul Rudd. Smiley fun time, happy, happy. The other side of my brain is a cynical part that's very much aware that we're just watching the same shit shoved down our throats, and it's very obvious. So that's what I mean when I say that Ghostbusters Afterlife makes it incredibly easy to feel cynical about the sequel's existence. Nonetheless, still somewhat impossible not to fall for its heart and humour. Had a hoot, even if it felt like a bit of a rush build to a predictable remember this climax. 3 stars for Ghostbusters Afterlife. What was up next? Oh, wow, it's Annette, a film which I've seen a lot at this point. Pretty sure this film has been in like the last 2 of my last month on Letterboxd, just creeping up like a dead ghost that won't go, a shit that won't whine. Except it's completely not shit. I'm fully on the Annette is the greatest thing ever train at this point. This is a special rewatch though, because my rating went up from already like adoring it to a straight up bloody 5 stars, boys. Welcome to the 5 out of 5 club, Annette, you goddamn beauty. Short and succinct, and there is also a reason why I'm rewatching it, which we'll get to later in the video, eh? And you will have absolutely seen on the channel at this point. I don't know why I'm teasing it. I did a big video on Annette, all right? So that's why I've been rewatching it a lot. Hold that thought though, we'll come back to it in a bit, all right? Because I know it's logged again in the month. Why am I stalling at this point? What's the next film I watch? Eternals, oh boy. Here we go. Again, full thoughts for this on the channel, so link down there for my review of Eternals. You might be interested in that because it was the big new Marvel one in it. This film was a mess, a ruddy mess, and it feels like the longest film of the year, right? This was the most dull experience in the cinema I've had this year. I admire what Zhao is trying to bring to the MCU here, and it isn't entirely a failure. Unfortunately, however, the Marvelness of it all really gets in the way of any actual interesting stuff. Truly a horrible screenplay that takes any subtlety and honesty from Zhao's visual work and spits it at you in the most literal of ways. Woo! What a swing and a miss, huh? 2 stars for Eternals. More like, bloody no Eternals, am I right? No thank you, Eternals. I understand why they didn't go with that name. But next up, we continue the Marvel train as I caught up on a previous Marvel film from in the year that everyone was going nuts about. You couldn't walk outside in the street without your neighbor coming up to you and grabbing you by the cuff and going, "Have you seen Shang-Chi?" And you just have to push them back, and they fall on the floor and they hurt themselves, and then blood starts to drip from their head, and they go, "Why did you do that?" "Oh, I was just asking." And you go, "I don't know." All right, I don't know. Okay, I've had a tough day. It's been a long day at work. I just came out to get the post. I don't know what you're doing here. And they're like, "I'm going to call the police. This is terrible." And you just run. You just don't do anything but run. You go around the corner. You look back, and they're still on the floor lying down because they can't get up because they're 89 years old, and you just hit a pensioner on the floor. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was put on Disney+, so me watched it. And me likey it. And me don't know why I'm talking like that. Enjoyed this, probably the strongest Marvel output since Endgame. Like the characters here, the family dynamics were kind of interesting, and the choreography was very cool. But good actual god, the VFX work here is, I mean, holy shit, it's not good, is it? I was really quite surprised at how cheap the entire thing looked. Like, not even just certain VFX shots, which were obviously not quite as strong as others, but I mean, like, overall, this thing, like, cinematography, I don't know if it's that Marvel flat thing, which seems to get a lot of heat. I don't think it's just that. I just think it just looks cheap, right? Such a refreshing and engaging character and origin story deserves to be in a better film. 3 stars for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Next up, I rewatched The Thing, the 1982 version, not the remake, because I have a heart and a soul, and my girlfriend had never seen it before, so it's another one of those, like, sit down with someone that hasn't seen an unbelievable classic and maybe just watch them for the whole thing instead of the TV screen, because you're just like, you're gonna love the shit out of this. And she fell asleep. She fucking fell asleep. She did say she was liking it though, so don't have to murder her just yet. Because good grief, The Thing, holy it's not even fair how good this film is. It's ridiculous how good this film is. Obviously, the best practical effects on film ever. It's unbelievable. I can't believe how good it all looks. Never fucking misses. Boom. 5 stars. Oosh. I felt like poetry as I was saying that. After that, and this is clearly the month of masterpieces, I watched Fateful Findings. This is the only blind spot in my Neil Breen filmography watching up until this point. And I don't know why it's always been so hard to find Fateful Findings when I try, but it's always the one that I can't get hold of. And story time, my sister was in like an Oxfam in a charity shop years back? I think it was years back. And there it was on the shelf, Neil Breen's Fateful Findings. And she called me and she was like, "Do you want me to get that?" And I was like, "Why would you ever fucking ask? Buy it." And she bought it and it sat there in its cellophane wrapping on my shelf because I knew I needed the time to watch this with the boys, with some beers. It's the only way to appreciate any Neil Breen film. Neil Breen. And then the old pandemic happened, didn't it? That old thing. So it sat there patiently waiting until November 2021 when it was unwrapped. Box in hand. Ooh, look at you. We place it into my PlayStation 5. Cutting edge. Doesn't play. This doesn't work. Neil has clearly just put it onto a fucking, I don't know, random disc, and it's just the codec's messed up. Mental. So I just had to buy it on Prime for £12. It was 30p or something from Oxfam. £12 on Prime. Was it worth it? Fuck, you better fucking believe it was. Apparently I didn't even feel the need to write a diary entry for this. Just 5 stars, nothing. Let's have one now. Neil Breen. They should ask Scorsese about what he thinks of this. That was an insight into how I write my Letterboxd reviews. Save. 5 stars, masterpiece, 10 out of 10. We love Neil Breen in this house. Then I think this is the same night we decided to watch Scary Movie, which is a film which I've seen far too many times at this point, and I unashamedly love this film. I don't care what anyone says. A lot of hate for Scary Movie, all right? You're all wrong. Shorty getting shot and the smoke coming out of the... That's cinema. That's fucking cinema. 4 stars. I don't want to know if you think I'm wrong. Don't even tell me. Just keep it to yourself. Next up, we watched Tick, Tick, Boom, which is the new Lin-Manuel Miranda film. It's his directorial debut. Went to Netflix. I think I'll be putting up a video soon with some more complex thoughts about this, or more fleshed out thoughts, I should say. So I'll keep it short and sweet, but this was wonderful, ? I'll be honest, for the first 40 or so minutes, I wasn't so sure. Felt like a very messy and kind of jarring whirlwind, but the decision to flip between flashbacks and one-man show is actually a really great decision in the end, and Garfield fucking kills it. Garfield does kill it. He's so good in this film. And it's just, you just kind of can't help but fall in love with him. 4 stars. Good stuff. Then I watched, how do I say that? Anity? I need to know what this film is. Psych, I do. It's a net. I've watched it. What is this? It's got to be like 6th or 7th rewatch at this point. I'm a bloody maniac. So sorry, everyone, but it's tickle time. I don't make the rules, for God's sake. It's tickle time. It's fucking tickle time. What can I say? That's right. And this is where the penny dropped. Guess what, motherfuckers? I did a big old video essay on a net, which I'm insanely proud of. So link down there to watch that. Please do. If you've seen a net and you want to see some analysis on a net, watch it. If you've not seen a net, don't watch it. It will spoil big things for you. 5 stars. I know I'm going to rewatch it again before the end of the year. I just know. I just can't not do that, can I? I'm fully in love with this film. Then I went back in time to, well, I didn't go back in time. I just watched an old film. Well, not old film. What am I saying? What words anymore? I went to one of my favorite filmmakers' previous films that she released back in time. Jesus Christ, you. I watched Raw, the first film from Julie Ducournau, because Titan was nuts, and so I was like, I need to go rewatch Raw again because I remember that film being awesome. Stupidly good on rewatch, one of the best end title slams ever, and also not even slightly a good hungover Sunday watch. No, I don't know why I chose to watch this when I watched this. We were very hungover, but I was like, my need to rewatch Raw is just corroding my actual brain's thoughts on whether or not I should really rewatch Raw now. But it was tough. Because cannibals are never fun to watch when you're hungover. 4.5 stars, what a film. Also, shout out to Second Sight for just having a lovely, lovely edition of that film. God, it's beautiful. Then I watched Red Notice, and I don't want to say much about it because it was just exactly what you expect Red Notice to be. Apparently, this is like the most watched film on Netflix or something, like the most hours watched. I don't buy that for a second, Netflix, you slimy little fuckers. 2 stars, don't ever want to watch it again. Am I going to hate watch the sequel? You better believe it. Then, as we start to wrap up November, we had another rewatch, which has been a long time coming, which is Malignant. I have been so excited to rewatch Malignant ever since I first saw it, and loved it, because if you haven't seen Malignant, it's mental, it's utterly absurd, and God, it still delivers so many good... I love this film so much. It's just... Malignant is... It's just how... I just love it. Look at this, stumbling over words. I'm in love. I'm just in love with this film. Genuinely a work of beauty. James Wan knows exactly what he's fucking doing here. It has to be the best third act of a film this year. I just love it. It's a miracle it's not a 5-star yet. I think it will be soon. I think it will be. 4.5 stars. And then we finished up the month with House of Gucci, which I honestly didn't think I was actually going to see. So... fun it's here. Big shout out to Meerkat Movies for making films like £3 on Wednesdays, which made me go and watch House of Gucci. And actually, good thing that it did, because I was not excited for this film. Even, like, I just did not understand why people were excited for this film. All the trailers look like shite. And so my expectations were like way, but you can't even see how low they are. They're on the bloody floor, which might explain why I actually kind of had an alright time with this thing. Like, I'm genuinely surprised. Performances range from pretty good, Driver, Pacino, to complete fucking train wreck, Leto. Put that man behind fucking bars, I swear to God. That man shouldn't even be allowed in communities anymore. His biggest problem is the story just isn't that wild. And the craziness just sort of happens in the last 5 minutes. The rest of the film is just generic people being like, well, I'm gonna bite it. I'm gonna scheme behind people's backs and get the company. Great. 3 stars. Maybe I was feeling generous. Maybe it should be lower. I'm just gonna stick by it. And with that, we come to the end of the Shrubbery Maze in November, which, as I said, was a much more relaxed, chilled out and mellow time, and delivered some absolute belters. I mean, a lot of the belters are rewatches. I mean, actually, no, yeah, absolutely every film that I rated above 4 stars was a rewatch. One of those months. But what about you guys? I no doubt you guys have been watching all sorts of crazy shit through the month. So let me know below what you've been watching. Or, I was going to say go over to the Letterboxd, but you can't do it. No, just let me know below. That's the only place you can do it. And let me know if you had any hugely... Is that the Alexa? Bezos is watching. And let me know if you had any hugely differing opinions on some of the films I watched, because Lord knows opinions are out there, and they're good. So... chat away. Of course, make sure you're following me on Letterboxd, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future reviews and any future last months on Letterboxd, because guess what? The monthly, you know that. just saying it. Subscribe, you probably might not regret it. I'll see you guys soon for some more thoughts on more films, but until next time, who am I kidding? I'm probably just going to go and rewatch Annette, aren't I? It's probably on the TV right now. I'm going to go straight back to Adam Driver's plump butt cheeks. It's something, it's a genuinely reality I want to happen. Can we make this happen?